What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So sorry about the last one, the last live stream. Yeah, it wouldn't be Mercury retrograde without technical difficulties, right? So, anywho, let's continue. Let's continue chatting about Mercury retrograde. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Okay, so wow, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I was already just talking away, just chattering away about all this Mercury retrograde stuff, and then I got cut off, and now I gotta do another live stream. But being the ninja that I am, I did record the first one, so maybe I'll piece these two together or something somehow. I don't know, because I don't want it to be like separate. Anyway, so what was I saying about the full moon in Gemini? So the full moon is involving Sagittarius and Gemini, two opposing signs. The sun is in Sag, the moon is in Gemini. They're opposing each other. They are like sending this intense energy to one another. And see, that's why on full moons, we feel so intense. And a lot of people, they make these life-changing decisions on full moons. Like one of those, like, I can't take this no mo type of life changes. Those happen on the full moon all the time because there's that opposition and that tension that's like, something's got to give type of thing. So then people will start saying, you know what, I can't. Like, for example, I heard like a couple that broke up today. And then I heard earlier that I still got to look into it. So it's speculation. I have to do my research, my Scorpio digging. But I heard that the Long Island medium, I heard she got divorced from her husband, and she's a Gemini. And then so, Gemini and Sag, opposite. I mean, if she's a Gemini, that's her seventh house of relationships is being affected, as well as herself. So bing, breakup. Crazy, right? So what I was saying was that Gemini and Sag. Gemini is the lower mind. Sag is the higher mind, which means, and I gave a comparison of, what Gemini is like an article that you read on the internet. Okay, you find an article on the internet and it's like, don't know if it could be true. It could be true. It could just be allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like allegedly true. Anybody could write it and just post it up on the internet, right? But Sagittarius is a long book. Like it's a long book, lots of information. It's got the sources, the resources, like it's got it was written by somebody that's like a credible source. It was used as like a textbook in school and like, scholars, or it's got history. You know what I'm saying? That is Sagittarius versus Gemini. Okay. And I call Gemini and Sag the third house and the ninth house are Gemini and Sag. So the third house I call around the way. Like, those people that live around the way and they know all the neighbors and they know all the drama, all the business, all the tea of the neighbors in the neighborhood. They know everybody. Hey, what's up, neighbor? Hey, this and that. They know all the people's names, right? And they really only just hang out on the corner, or like hang out in places like very close to home. And they know everybody there. And so that means that they're in tune with all the gossip of the world, right? Or of their little bubble. That's the third house. That's around the way. I think of Gemini in the third house. I'm a huge fan of In Living Color. I don't know if any of you guys are even old enough to have watched In Living Color. I mean, it comes on reruns and stuff or something, right? I'm sure you guys have seen it. But on Living Color, that character, Benita Bottrell, she just sitting in the window all day chilling with her curlers on, looking out the window. Hey there. Hey, Miss Jenkins. Hey, don't nobody talk about Miss Jenkins. Miss Jenkins is a saint. She's an angel. Don't go to her house, though. And then she starts gossiping, talking about Miss Jenkins, like all Two-Faced and stuff. But that's what I think of when I think of the third house. When I think of Gemini, I think of around the way. You just know what's going on, in that immediate area. And then Sag, which is the opposite. The ninth house, which is the opposite. That is getting out and exploring the world. That's going outside your comfort zone, outside your bubble, outside of your neighborhood, right? Outside of your city. That's Sag energy. That's ninth house energy. So It's going out and traveling. It's like meeting people that are from all these different places, not just from around the way that you're comfortable with. You know, it's meeting people from different countries, different states, different regions, and getting to know them and like being curious about their culture and, you know, and actually traveling to those places. That's Sag. That is that's, you know, the opposite of Gemini. You know, that's the ninth house. So these two energies are opposing one another right now with this full moon. And then we add Neptune and Pisces in the mix that's making a square aspect. And that's a challenging aspect. And these are all mutable signs, as I mentioned in my last live broadcast, if you guys caught it at all. But they're mutable signs. Mutable pretty much means they're changeable. They're adaptable. Like Virgo, Gemini, Sag, and Pisces, those are all the mutable signs. That's because they can change like that, you know. They're kind of like loped, okay? Like those signs. That's why there's some of the top on the top list of like criminals and serial killers and stuff is the mutable signs. You don't believe me? Go look up the statistics. Also, cancers. Cancers are at the top too. Why? Because they're ruled by the moon. The moon, loony. It gets people loony, lunatic, all that stuff. Cancers, they lose their shit, man. Like when there's changes in the moon phases, you know. So anyway, oh hey, what's up, Brandon? What's up? Hey everybody. So yeah, that's why they're at the top of the list too. But anyway, switching back, okay, we're talking about the mutable energy. Gemini, Sag, Pisces, all mutable. So yeah, but they're all in the mix with this full moon. I posted on Instagram and Twitter. If you guys aren't following me on any of those, follow me there. On Instagram, I've taken a hiatus from it because I usually like to put a lot into my Instagram posts, and I haven't had the energy to put a lot into posts. You know, I like to make them all nice and, you know, put all this wording and verbiage and pictures and all this stuff. I haven't had the energy to do it, but I'm starting to gain that back now. On Twitter, follow me on Twitter because I'll post like some little mini, like freebie little mini horoscopes that you can fit into like a little Twitter post, you know, for people, and do little, like, I'll just feel generous one day, be like, yo, do you want a free moon sign reading? Like, hit me up, you know, drop your chart in the comments, and I'll just do like a little tiny mini horoscope. So anyway, follow me on Twitter. But yeah, I posted this meme of like this dude is like, yeah, like he has that face, you know, and he's got a one raised eyebrow and stuff, because that's what reminds me of Gemini energy. Are you late? Have I talked about cancers yet? I gave you guys an honorable mention when talking about serial killers, so you missed that. Have I gotten to the horoscopes? Not yet. I will get to those. And yeah, also if you're just tuning in, yes, I am going to get to horoscopes, but I like to talk about the general energy of the signs, of what's going on, you know, of the transits and stuff first. So I know a lot of people, they're just like, when are you going to talk about me? Well, this is for everybody, okay? So I like to talk about how it affects everybody personally, and then also like individually, based on your sun, moon, and or rising signs. So don't forget to pull up your birth chart. I can't stress that enough. If you're trying to get a horoscope, you have to know your rising sign. It's the most important. Sun sign is too, yes, it'll be accurate, but if you know your rising sign, that is where your personal clock starts astrologically, is with your rising sign. The sign that was rising when you were born, that's like, it starts, you know, your personal clock. Like I said, the timing, it goes around in a circle. So you have to know your rising sign, okay? If you don't have your birth time, you don't know your rising sign, it's cool. You can listen to sun sign horoscopes. They still have some accuracy. Moon sign horoscopes, if you know your moon sign, you listen to your horoscope for that. That's more like your perception on things and your, like, how you feel about a situation that we talk about in a horoscope, versus like things that are actively happening. You know what I mean? So anyhow, yeah, getting back to the energy, Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury is going retrograde. What does that mean? Well, as a lot of you already saw, like Mercury retrograde can make mishaps happen that are ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the hands, it rules the speech, it rules your typing, your texting, your talking, your chatting, okay, communication, messages being spread. That's what Mercury rules. Mercury rules the devices that you use for technology, like your phone, your tablet, your iPad, your laptop, all of that stuff. Mercury rules those things. Mercury rules how you travel. That means your car, your bus, if you ride a bike, you know, all that stuff. Mercury rules those things. So what happens when it goes retrograde? Well, Mercury retrograde is Mercury is slowing down its orbit that it regularly has, and then it starts going backwards. So its orbit is like different, you know? So when that happens, what happens to people's minds, which Mercury rules? They start going a little backwards. What happens? You know what I noticed? And this isn't to like, I'm not a fatalistic, scary, ooh, you know, astrologer that just tells everybody all this fatalistic stuff. But I like to keep it real because my purpose here is to talk about how astrology is life. Like you see it every day in your everyday life. So Mercury retrograde is when you will see the most like horrendous accidents, sad to say, like ones that are wrong way drivers. Okay, because Mercury, which is driving, is like flipped, you know? So you'll see the accidents that are like weird, you know what I'm saying? Like people going off into head on into traffic, going the wrong way. I just came home last night from picking up my son from work, and on the freeway we saw a car that was, you know, and going this way, like, but it was like flipped. It was like turned around, like facing us. And we were like, what the hell? How did that happen? Well, Mercury retrograde will cause stuff like that a lot more if you're not paying attention, you're not careful, you're not cautious. So yeah, be careful driving, especially during this Mercury retrograde, and a full moon in Gemini, and Gemini rules driving and stuff too. So, you know, and then Gemini rules travel, like traveling around the way, around your city or whatever. And then Sag rules long distance traveling. So yes, with both of these transits, like really heavy right now, everybody just be careful driving. Be super careful driving. Be careful with communication because, yeah, communication could be like, there could be a lack of it. There could be people like misunderstanding things and stuff. I've already seen that happening. And especially if you are ruled by Mercury, oh my gosh, I feel bad for you guys. Okay, like my sister is a Gemini rising, and she said this morning her phone just started deciding to like do all kinds of weird stuff for no reason, like just start tweaking out, right? And she's a Gemini rising. She's ruled by Mercury. So Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. You guys get Mercury retrograde the worst. I feel so bad for you. I feel bad for Virgo and Gemini during this time, man. You guys, woo! So, yeah. Oh, I know. I know. Oh, hey, what's up, Kat? Yeah, so with Mercury retrograde, your devices, you need to make sure they're protected. It's not the best time. And you know what? And I said this on my Instagram post too, and on Twitter. And once again, if you're not following me on those, go ahead and follow me on those. But during this Mercury retrograde, this is during the holiday season here in the US where people go Christmas shopping, they go all crazy with shopping online and all this stuff. This Mercury retrograde season is all through the holiday season, okay? Like holiday shopping season. So it's not the best time to buy electronics. I know. It's not the best time to buy electronics, to buy things online, to have things delivered to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Mercury also rules delivery of mail and stuff. So yeah, having things sent to your house through the mail, oh my gosh. It's just not the best time to buy those things. So, I mean, you can still do it and everything, but just know that there could be a risk involved. Like there could be a risk involved in those things like messing up again, especially like once Mercury is retrograde again sometime like in the future, like a few months from now, whatever you bought during a Mercury retrograde can start acting up. So yeah, just be mindful of that. If you buy anything technological, if you buy a vehicle, if you buy a phone, a laptop, any of that during Mercury retrograde, yeah, it's crazy. I know, but listen, the good thing, there is a good to Mercury retrograde. The good thing about Mercury retrograde is since Mercury rules the mind and it's about retro, which is going back. Oh, hey, what's up? My sister's here, Victoria. What's up, girl? So yeah, Hey, Daniel, what's up? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll answer your question right now. HFTL. I don't know what your name is, but I guess I'll call you by that. But anyhow, what was I saying? See, Gemini, this now I get why Geminis and Gemini moons, you guys are like, shh, like my husband's Gemini moon, and he told me that his mind is like the channel on the like you have the remote and it's like changing the channel like constantly, like every 5 seconds. That's how your minds move. So I'm like picking up on that vibe from the moon being in Gemini, and I'm like, yo, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, oh, the good about Mercury retrograde. Since Mercury rules your mind and retro is going back, there could be a lot of great memories that come back. And since this is, you know, the season where a lot of people get together, like their families and stuff, they get together. It's you get together, you gather, and you go over memories, you go over photos, you go over like, I remember back in the day, this and that, or back in my day, you know, all that stuff is Mercury retrograde too. And maybe taking a trip down memory lane, literally like going back to your old neighborhood, driving through it and reminiscing. I actually thought about doing that yesterday, you know, going back to one of my old neighborhoods just to pass by for memories and retrospect and everything, you know. So yeah, doing that, being nostalgic it could be a really cool thing during Mercury retro. But Mercury retrograde brings people back to you from the past. It sure does. Mercury retrograde brings people back. Okay, so that can mean it brings them back just in memory, like in your own mind. So you'll just start thinking about people from your past, you know what I'm saying? Like just thinking about them. Or you'll be at the grocery store, maybe hopefully not looking busted, okay? So I'm telling you guys, during Mercury retrogrades, anytime they happen, make sure you're always, you know, like, okay? Make sure that you're looking good, okay? Like you made an effort when you go out in public, because let me tell you, you will be seeing people that you knew from a long time ago, or exes. Exes always come back during Mercury retrograde. Maybe not 100% of the time, every single time for everyone, but I'm just saying, like, I always hear people say, oh, I ran into my ex, or my ex called me. They tried to DM me. They tried to IM me. They text me or whatever. Like, guess who contacted me out of the blue? I always have people telling me that all the time. Thank goodness it hasn't happened to me, but I have all of those ninjas blocked anyway. But for people that don't have their exes blocked, I always, or they run into them in public. I had that happen to me last year once during a Mercury retrograde. But I knew better as an astrologer. I made sure that I was like glammed, okay? Like glitter, lashes, everything. My hair was did, everything. And what happened? Who did I run into? Somebody from the past, right? And I was just like, oh, hey, and stuff, you know? And I was just like, woo, thank goodness I had the heads up from the universe by studying all this stuff to know, make sure that you look fly, okay, during Mercury retrograde. You don't want anybody from the past to catch you slipping with your hair in a bun, all like this, you know, not even all the way like put together, or like you're a dude, you haven't shaved, like 5 o'clock shadow, looking all rugged, and you know what I'm saying? And then you run into somebody that, or maybe somebody that used to, they used to clown on you, they used to tease you, they used to talk stuff about you, and you want to make sure that you make a good impression. Like, look at me now, right? So yeah. Look fly during Mercury retrogrades, okay? Do it. All right, so hold up. We got some questions here. Jenny Gump, I love your name, girl. Jenny says, she bought an electronic right before. She wondered if it's still effed up. Okay, so right before Mercury goes retrograde, you know we give the dates, right? The exact dates in astrology and horoscopes and all that. So today is December 3rd. Mercury just went retrograde today. However, there's the shadow period of retrogrades. So for Mercury, the shadow period is an estimation of about 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after the dates we give you of Mercury retrogrades beginning and ending. Okay, so if you bought an electronic device in the last 2 weeks, that includes Black Friday. Let me tell you guys, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I was just like, I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy nothing because I didn't want to take the risk. And it was so hard too. It was really hard to resist. But, you know, I was like, I don't know. I just didn't want to risk it. I mean, if you want to, it's not saying 100% of the time things are going to mess up during Mercury retrograde if you buy them or whatever. Not 100% of the time. There's just a higher increased chance of that. Okay. All right. So DSI says, I had a guy I was dating DM me Friday, full moon in Gemini on my sun, exact at 11 degrees. Ooh wee. And I had both my phone and my laptop break. See, I'm telling you, you Geminis and Virgos especially, you guys need to protect your devices. You need to block your exes, all that stuff during Mercury retrograde. So yeah, I gave all the Mercury retrograde pros and cons and do's and don'ts. So the period of time that Mercury is retrograde is from December 3rd through the 23rd, I believe. And then up until like January 6th, it's still going to be like a little, you know, a little wonky. It's like not going to be all the way back to its regular orbit. So yeah, you guys need to watch for that. Waiting till the retrograde is over before getting new electronics. Yes, girl or boy. I can't really tell by your avatar. A Libra confessed his love for me last night, and I'm a Gemini. Ooh wee. Okay, well, Geminis. For Gemini, Libra is your 5th house of romance. So yeah, that's why. That's why. So anyhow, shall we get to the horoscopes? Before we get to the horoscopes, I just want to let you guys know very quickly that I am back in business. I've had some major life things happen. That's why there have been no live streams, no, like barely anything from me for the last like couple of months. But I had some things that I had to take care of that a lot of you guys know about. A lot of you guys don't. It's still fresh and very emotional, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I really had some super major family things I had to focus on, and I had to put career to the side. That means my YouTube channel, my astrology business, everything was just to the side, you know. But now, you know, I'm starting to get back into business. So anyhow, go to my website, indigomoonAstrology.com, because December, only for the month of December, I have some specials going on. So if I have some mini readings for only $8, y'all. $8. But listen, it's not a full-blown reading because I get really detailed with readings, super detailed. If any of you guys are following me and you've had a reading from me, you know I will say, oh yeah, I do a 30-minute reading. No, girl, I go on for like an hour with all the details of everything in your chart. I can talk. But no, I really love to get super detailed, but I have $8 mini readings. That means you can just pick a planet in your chart that you want me to go over that you're not sure about. And it's really good for people who are new to astrology, who are beginners. And as I said in my last live stream, I have a lot of new followers that have just started following me in the last couple of weeks. And I'm so grateful for you guys to be here. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about yourselves and your chart. What does it say about me? What does this mean? What does that mean? So I have the $8 mini readings, which means $8 you get. Just pick a planet and I will tell you all about what that planet means by being what the planet means, what the sign means, what the house means, and aspects it receives from other planets. I will let you know the whole spiel about that planet in your chart. Okay, so go to my website. I have a link in the description for that. I also have $20 mini life purpose readings only for December for $20. Okay, $20. So I go over your north node and your south node in your chart. If you don't know what that is, message me, ask me, whatever. But it pretty much shows like your past life and then this life's destiny, what you're here to do. So, and I go in depth and in detail with those too, like aspects, the house, the sign, all that stuff. So if you want to know like a mini reading about your life purpose, go to my website and check it out. And I'll have some more stuff too for Sag season, some more yes, Victoria, $20. You know how our family does. You know the accents all up in our family. $20. Yes. You know me already, girl. That's my sister-in-law, so she knows. Anyhow, for Sag season, I'm also going to have like some other like dope sales that I'm going to get going and stuff too for you guys. So like some travel ones, because Sag rules travel. So I'm going to do these horoscopes that are personalized to you to let you know like what places in the world to travel that are like best for you, that like have good energy for you. There's a way to see that in a chart, and I love doing it. Or if you're thinking about relocating somewhere to like another country, city, state, whatever, I could do a relocation chart. So anyway, stay tuned for those. Now, let's get on to these horoscopes. What should I do first, guys? Should I do, do you guys want to know about Mercury retrograde, how it's going to affect you by your sun or rising sign? Or should I do the full moon? Do you guys want to know about the full moon or Mercury retrograde first? Let me take a sip of some water while I see what you guys say, and then we'll get to your horoscopes. Let's see. Yes, Kat, I'm happy to be back. This is my passion. This is my love. This is what I pour my energy into to keep my mind off of like craziness that goes on in my own life. Yeah. Start with Sag or Cancer. Girl, I go in order of the zodiac, Leah. I'm sorry. I go from Aries to Pisces. So you just got to be patient. But thanks for being here, Leah. All right. Full moon, rising at retrograde. Okay. Yeah. Do it by house. Yes, Kat. I will do it by house. Okay. Okay. Anyhow. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Let me count how many are for the full moon. 1, 2 for the full moon. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the retro. Okay, let's do Mercury retrograde first, and I'll do the full moon by each sign. So once again, if you don't know what your rising sign is, I suggest you go find it out like ASAP, okay? Because like I said, it starts your personal clock, okay? The timing of life, horoscopes, all of that stuff, the most accurate is your rising sign. Okay, but if you know your sun sign, it'll still be accurate too. So Mercury retrograde, how is it going to affect you guys by sign? So we will start with Aries, okay? So Aries, Mercury retrograde is going to be in your 9th house. That is travel. That is education. That is your thoughts, your opinions. Well, your higher mind thoughts, you know, like I said earlier. That's your opinions. It's your education, it's your travel. I think I already said that. Also, 9th house and Sagittarius is life experiences. That's how I'd like to define it. It's life experiences. It's adventures that you have in life. It's going outside of your bubble, outside of getting away from around the way, getting away from your hood, your neighborhood, your city, and going elsewhere. Getting away from like the closed-minded kind of views, you know, and being more open-minded and saying, you know what, I'm going to explore the world a little bit. You know, I'm going to open my mind a little bit. So anyway, the 9th house is where Mercury is going to go retrograde. So for Aries, especially, travel. I know you guys are adventurous people already because you're a fire sign, and Mercury is retrograde in a fire sign. So it's like beaming all this fire energy to you guys. It's really good and positive. But you guys are the like main sign that really needs to be careful with travel. Like I know a lot of people travel during December because of the holidays and whatnot. But if you guys travel, Aries, make sure that you go over all the fine print. Okay, like really read the fine print. If you rent a hotel, make sure that they're not going to be charging you a lot of extra fees, you know, stuff like that. If you're driving, if you're going to be driving, make sure that you are awake, you're alert, you're not driving with a crazy person who's drinking or, you know, reckless and all that stuff. Make sure, get all those precautions in order, Aries, for real. But also some Aries could be going back and thinking about what experiences in life they haven't had yet. What experiences do you want to have? Like to really feel the full experience of being a human being, enjoying life. Enjoying life is like ruled by Sag. Like, well, Sag is one of the energies that rules that. Enjoyment of life, freedom, all that stuff. So you guys, Aries, could be really going back in your mind and thinking about how can I have more freedom? How can I have more enjoyment? How can I be able to like throw my money in the air like I just don't care, like a Sag, you know? And not even have to look at my bank account. If I want to live that lifestyle, how can I get that? You know, if I want to travel more, how can I get that? If I want to go back to school, some of you guys may be reconsidering school, going back, starting school, you know, whatever. So yeah, that's for Aries. So you guys are really going to be going back and thinking about a lot of stuff. I wouldn't commit to anything revolving around travel or school or anything like that. During Mercury retrograde, just try your hardest, Aries, to not commit and to try to wait till after the retrograde, which I said like after like the second week of January, to really proceed with things, you know? So yeah. Do I work with tarot cards? I do. I have a big stack of them behind me. I don't know if you can see. They're right next to prints. Yes, I have tarot cards. I'm not using them today because this video would be like way too long. So anyway, moving on to Taurus. Mercury retrograde for Taurus. How is it going to affect you guys? That's me too, right along with you guys. My sun sign's Taurus. So for Tauruses, Mercury retrograde is in your 8th house. Wow. So yeah, are my readings recorded or live? The personalized readings, they are recorded through an audio file, but I do offer Skype readings too. If you go to my website, Skype readings too, or email me or whatever. So back to my Tauruses. This is Mercury retrograde in your 8th house. So when it comes to any type of contractual agreements that have to do with money that you share with other people, that you owe other people or other people owe you, I would be super careful, Taurus. And Taurus, we're already a sign that's like very cautious with money. You know, we don't play around, Taurus, right? We do not play with our coins. So we need to be extra cautious when partnering with people when it comes to money, when it comes to inheritances, signing up for things that have to do with insurance. I know for a lot of people that work at regular jobs, this is the time of year where they renew their insurance. So if you do that, Taurus, if that applies to you, you need to make sure that you read all the fine print and that you don't forget information and all that stuff so it doesn't get messed up, you know? Also for Tauruses, yeah, this is Mercury retrograde. This is inheritances. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm dealing with right now is inheritance stuff, going over some stuff that I inherited from my father, you know, going over his resources. I have to go to his storage unit tomorrow and go over his stuff and try to distribute things out to the family. So the astrology is real life, you guys. It really is. I'm a Taurus, and that's what I got to do in my 8th house. Some Tauruses can also be revising things that don't have to do with money, but it's more like intimacy. Like thinking about what you really want intimately from another person, whether you're single, you're in a relationship, you're married, whatever. Thinking about what you want, like reviewing that. You know what? I feel like my relationship is missing yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? It's missing something. Like I feel like we could be more intimate. You know, I don't want to get too technical and dirty and like, you know, have YouTube flag this video, so I'm not going to get into you know, super detailed stuff with that, but use your imagination, Taurus, of what intimacy means to you. You'll be thinking back on that. And Tauruses, you guys are another sign that is more susceptible to your exes popping back up, because the 8th house also rules lover, like people that you had an intimate bond with, like you merge souls with that person. Oof, that's what it rules too. So you can have some of those people pop up, call you, be like, you know what? I still love you, girl. I still love you, dude. Man, guy, whatever, boy, I still think about you. I've never let you go. I feel like your soul still belongs to me, you know? So yeah, some Tauruses can have old exes from the past pop up and try to say stuff like that. And you know what? It's really up to you whether or not you want to block them, or do you want to be like, hey, let's try to rekindle things. But just know, if you rekindle things during a Mercury retrograde, there's a big chance that once the retrograde's over, you or the other person could change your minds. I'm just saying. Just saying. So next up is Gemini. Mercury retrograde for Gemini. Oh my goodness. Gemini, I got to take a sip really quick before I get to yours, because it really affects you guys big time on a big level. So hold on. Let me sip some tea, because Geminis, I got some tea for you. Just kidding, kind of. So Gemini, Gemini sun, moon, or rising, Mercury retrograde for you guys. This is in your 7th house of relationships. Some of you guys are reviewing and revising the relationships that you have in your life. Some Geminis are like, what have you done for me lately? Some Geminis are like, you know what? I miss so-and-so and I think that we're not done, so let me call them. Okay. Or you guys are also more susceptible to have exes, people from the past, call you guys, DM you, message you, whatever. Geminis, yes. Also, Geminis could be thinking about just like, you know, it's not always drama or anything. It could be you're happily with somebody and you're just going to go over with them like, what can we do to make this relationship better? How can we revise our relationship, get a spark back? Because Geminis especially are a sign that really loves relationships where there's like a lot of newness, you know, there's sparks always just popping off. Gemini is all about that. So you can be thinking about that and going over that with your partner, talking, how can we get that back? Because you know what? I'm a Gemini. I get bored easily, and then I have the shifty eyes, and they start going, and they might shift over to him, her, them, like all over the place if you don't keep me, you know, keep that spark. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, excuse me. Oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, Gemini, relationship, relations. Shermer want to have relations. You guys are going to be thinking all about that stuff and going over like, you know, maybe even if you could be single, going over your relationships from the past. And of course, during your reading, Gemini, my mind is going all over and I'm looking at my phone. My bad. I'm like getting all distracted. But anyway, yeah, Gemini, it's all about relationship stuff for you guys. So just be cautious. That's all I have to say. Wait until the retrograde is over. Wait until the second week of January before you make any type of commitment to anybody with any relationship stuff. I know it's already rough for Geminis to commit, okay? But just listen. Not the time. Not the time. All right. So next up is Cancer. So yes, Leah, I've gotten to your sign now. Cancers. Yes, I'm talking about you. What about me? It isn't fair. That's Cancer's theme song. I swear. I love you guys, but dang, like it's always Cancers that pop in. Like you haven't talked about me. Yes, I'm talking about you now. So Cancers, I love you guys. And guess what? Mercury retrograde is going to be affecting you guys in the areas of work and health. So some of you guys may be going back over the job that you work at and thinking about like, do I really want to work here or not? Like, am I being treated right in this workplace or am I, because I know a lot of Cancers. I know I clown on you guys, but that's because you guys are family to me, literally. I have Cancers in my family, best friend a Cancer, husband a Cancer. So I just poke fun at you guys because I love you, all right? But Cancers, the Cancers I know close to me, they really put in a lot of effort into their jobs, into the work, into the workplace. They treat people in the workplace like family. They reach out to people. If somebody that's a coworker is sick, they'll be the ones to be like, oh, let me go get you something. Let me go get I'll bring in some tissues for you, boo-boo. Or like, you know, let me go get you some tea or like what, you know what I'm saying? Or even with work, when they do work, they really put in a lot because they're like, you know, they want things to go right because Cancers worry a lot. So you guys want things to go right. So you put a lot of effort in. And a lot of times, because you guys are nice people, you'll get taken advantage of. And the workplace will just be like, oh yeah, yeah, the Cancer will do it. You know, they'll do it. Just hand it to them. And you guys will be like, okay, sure, you know. But then you guys look back sometimes and be like, wait a second here. Hold up. This, like, they always have me I haven't even gotten a raise in 20 years. Like, why am I doing all this work? It isn't fair. Like, you know, Cancers get like that sometimes. So Mercury retrograde is going to be in your 6th house of work. Some of you guys are going to be really thinking about your job in that kind of a way, going over like, do you really like the job? Are you being treated fairly? Are they just handing you a bunch of stuff, making you do it because you're nice and you'll do it and not even like compensating you right for it? You know what I mean? So some Cancers may be going through that. Some Cancers may be, you know, looking for new jobs. They may be, yeah, it's just, you know, stuff about the job is definitely happening for Cancers. Also for Cancers, you guys could be going over your health. Like, how can you better your health and your diet? And trust me, I know it's hard. Cancer is the other sign that rules food other than Taurus, because Cancer rules nurturing, caring. You know what I'm saying? Like, feeding people is part of a Cancer's nature. And so Cancers really love food, and food brings comfort. Food reminds you guys of your family, your mom, your grandma, your country of origin, whatever, like traditions. Food has a lot of emotional comfort for Cancer. So you guys, it's hard, so hard for Cancers to get like on diets and be very strict and like cut out all the things that they eat that comfort them. It's so hard for Cancers. But you know what? You guys may be thinking during this Mercury retrograde, thinking about changing your diet. Like, you know what? I have some, you know, health things that are brought to my attention. Now I gotta make some changes. I gotta start working out, going to the gym. Cancers really love to just chill at home, comfy in their onesie and their jammies on the couch with some food, watching, you know. Cancers love that, but some of you guys are going to have to think, you know, and revise like your health and taking care of yourself with this Mercury retrograde. So it's going to be all about that and also about your health, Cancers. So good luck to you guys. I love you guys. All right. So next up is Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Mercury retrograde. How's it affecting you guys? It is in your 5th house of romance. So when we talk about exes during Mercury retrograde, Leos, you guys are another sign that could have people come back from your past, some old booze, some old, you know, flames, whatever you want to call them, old bae. I don't really like the word bae. I guess I'm like old and old school, and I'm like, you darn kids and your darn lingo. Like, I don't really like using the word bae, except to joke around a little bit. But anyway, whatever you call like the peoples that you date, okay, Leo, some of them can come back from the past in your mind, in your memory, or they could be hitting you up. They could be in your private messages, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So Leos, yeah, hopefully my hat doesn't look too funky. I don't know. I'm just messing with it. Because I'm on the sign of Leo, which rules hair and like accessories and looking fly. So I'm trying to make sure I look good for you, Leos. But anyway, so Leo, you guys can have lovers come back from the past, hitting you up, or you could just be thinking about them, because this is Mercury retrograde is in the house of romance, the sign that rules romance for Leo. So yeah, your mind could be going there. Excuse me. Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, so that's for Leo, but also you could be thinking about ways to bring more romance into your life, bring more fun into your life. Okay, like the 5th house is fun. I'm talking about hobbies. You know, the 5th house is the heart chakra. Hey, what's up, Eve? Thanks for popping in, girl. The 5th house is the heart chakra. So whatever gets your heart like beating really fast, whether it's romance, whether it's like hobbies, whether it's doing something creative, all that stuff, you're going to be thinking about, Leo. Like, how can I bring more of that into my life? Because she is bored. Like, she is missing some flair in her life and she needs some back end like now, you know? So Leos could be thinking about that. Also, you can pick up an old hobby again. You know, the 5th house is hobbies. You can pick one up again. I would say don't start a new one, because chances are after the retrograde's over, you won't really want to keep it. You know, you probably won't continue it. It was like, oh, it was fun for that month, but now I'm not interested anymore. But an old hobby or creative talents, in Leos, you guys are really creative people. So it's a good time to pick one of those up again and start doing it. You know, whether you paint, you draw, you're good with Photoshop or like Final Cut Pro or whatever it is that you do, Leo, pick it up again, show it off. Okay. So yeah, that is Leo for the Mercury retrograde. What's up to you guys? Greetings. Thank you. So next up is Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is Mercury retrograde affecting you guys? Well, this is in your 4th house of home and family and comfort and security. Yes. Bae came from a video of some teenager crying about their girlfriend breaking up with them. Really, Janae? Wow. See, a lot of stuff goes viral, like these little slang terms, and then like people end up not even getting credit. They don't patent it. They don't make any coin off of it. All the time. That's a blessing and a curse with social media, right? Anyhow, sorry, Virgo. Back to Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How does the Mercury retrograde affect you guys? So, Virgo, this is in your 4th house. This is home and family. So some of you guys could be going back to visit family, but like I said, with the retrograde, traveling is just not really like the best time. But if you must, then you must. And Virgos are very detailed anyway, detail oriented. So I'm sure you guys will go over all the fine print of everything that has to do with your travel, your itinerary. You'll have it on point, right? But yeah, but there could still be some mishaps with travel and stuff and plans and everything, even with you being a precise and anal Virgo. Mercury rules you, so your ruling planet is retrograde. just really, ooh, did I wipe off my eyebrow? Oh my God. I gotta check on that. I don't have a mirror. But anyway, yeah, Virgos, don't like crucify me about my eyebrow if it's half wiped off. Okay. But anyway, so Virgo, like Mercury rules you guys. So things can still go a little backwards, a little wrong, okay, with travel plans to go visit family. But I know you'll be thinking about your family though, because Mercury, it rules the mind and your memory and stuff. So you'll be thinking about them. You'll be wanting to call them, like family members you haven't even talked to in a long time. Seen them in a long time. You know, let me hit them up, or they will hit you up. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I have to check my eyebrow because I'm really like particular. And Virgos are too, and you guys would be like, oh my God, your eyebrows don't match. You like wiped off half of one, and I noticed it. I noticed everything. Okay, it's good. Okay, so Virgo, yeah, family, and what the, yo, this thing was cutting out. Are we good? Okay, we're good. See, you guys are ruled by Mercury, Virgo. I told you, and Mercury wants to start messing up my little broadcast. Tell your ruling planet to leave me alone. Anyway, family. Thinking about family, and also thinking about where you live, Virgo. Are you comfortable there or not? You know, do you like living there? Do you like the area that you live in? Do you like the house you live in? You'll have to, yeah, go over that stuff. You'll have to, I don't know. There's just a lot with home and family that's going to be going on with Virgo people. This could be moving. Like if some of you guys, you may be moving, I would say to be very careful, Virgos, with signing a contract on a lease or a mortgage or anything right now during Mercury retrograde. Virgos, try your best not to do it until after the second week of January, or during the second week of January. Then you'll be more in the clear with the home stuff. Before that, it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky, Virgo. So yeah, home, family, comfort, securities, all of that stuff. So yeah, you're an eyebrownista. Yes. Just a slight pause. Pause for what? Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. So next up is Libra. Libra, sun, moon, or rising. How is the Mercury retrograde affecting you guys? Well, this is happening in your third house. So the third house, it rules communication. It rules traveling around your way. It rules your siblings. The third house rules like skills that you have. Okay, we cut out for a second. I don't know if you guys caught that. But Mercury rules your siblings, around the way, your neighborhood, how you travel by like car, by bus, by bicycle, whatever it is. Also communication, like even the devices you use to communicate, which is your tablet, your phone, all of that stuff. What the hell? Are we on? Okay. Yo, this keeps cutting out. I'm so sorry, you guys. But anyway, yes, securities. Yes, that's right. So Libra, you guys also are like your communication. I'm just letting you guys know, you guys are going to have more of a challenge with communication than some of the other signs with Mercury retrograde here. I know it sucks. You guys are really all about like making sure that people understand you. You guys understand each other, one-to-one conversations and all that stuff. Libras love to drink wine and party. You are so right, because my sister Victoria is in the chat and she messaged me earlier and said, we need to have some girl time and I'll bring the wine. And she's a Libra. So, woo! You know your stuff. You know your stuff. But yeah, Libra, the communication, oh my gosh, it's going to be a little more tough. You guys are going to have to take it slow with communicating, with texting, with typing, writing, and all that stuff. And go over things a few times to make sure that you have it correct. I know it sucks, but hey, it's only for like a month. Also, Libras, your cars, your vehicles, take care of those. Take care of your vehicles. Make sure that you guys go over, like, I don't know. I don't know about taking it to a mechanic at this time. That's a little touchy. But making sure that things are just working properly, like your tires are aired up, like your oil light isn't on, like all that stuff, okay? Like little maintenance stuff in your car, Libra. Watch for those things. Excuse me. So yeah, That's for Libras. Also your siblings, you know, if you have siblings you haven't seen or talked to in a while, you might be thinking about them and like want to talk to them, call them or whatever. Like I said, one of my sisters is in the chat and she messaged me earlier, is like, when are we gonna get together, girl? And I'm like, yeah, I know. So Mercury's retrograde in her third house is a Libra, so it rules your siblings. Yes, it does. So reuniting with siblings and cousins and uncles and, you know, chatting with your neighbors, all that stuff. Reuniting with people because it's retro, going back. So that's for Libra. Next up is Scorpio. Scorpio sun, moon, or rising sign. How is Mercury retrograde affecting you guys? OMG. I'm a Scorpio rising. Victoria, you're also a Scorpio rising. That's another reason why we're sisters. You're a Scorpio rising, Victoria. Nita is a Scorpio rising too. What a coinkydink, right? So for Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising, Mercury retrograde is affecting your second house, which is money. Scorpios, we are a sign that rules money. We rule loans and taxes and credit cards and insurance and stuff like that, and inheritances. Scorpio rules that. We rule banks, you know, all that stuff. And so Mercury retrograde in a money house for us, oh, we are serious about that money. Listen, Scorpios, what can happen when Mercury's retrograde in your second house of your resources and your income and all that stuff is, and I'm crossing my fingers that this doesn't manifest for me as a Scorpio rising, but this is a time where you can have like bills, like old bills that you forgot about. They can pop up again. Bill collectors will call you for a bill that you had like last year. You know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, you forgot to pay this. You're like, excuse me? There goes my Christmas money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you can have some mishaps with money management. I've had that happen already during the shadow period where I forgot I made a payment arrangement with T-Mobile, and don't you know they snatched like pretty much almost my whole what I had left in my bank account because I forgot I made that payment agreement. Yeah, so you could be forgetful with the financial dealings for Scorpio. So really, like, we usually are very cautious with money, Scorpio, but like it can be easy to lose track with Mercury retrograde and have like stuff bite us in the ass. Okay, so really take the time to manage your money, to go over your bank accounts, go over every single bill, Scorpio, for reals, and make sure that you have that all in order and everything. So none of those bill collectors will bother you for anything that's like unnecessary, right? So Emily says, how do you figure out your rising sign? So what you do, Emily, is you go to cafeastrology.com. You can go to astro.com. There's several sites, you know, that you can go to. I actually have them in the description box below this video. I have a link to a couple of those. So that's how you find out your rising sign. You have to know your time of birth for that. So yeah, Scorpio, money management, and also revising your budget, going over your resources and what you're using. Like, are you using too much electricity? Are you using too much water? Are you know what I'm saying? Like, are you spending too much on gas, like to drive places that, like, you don't have to go to, you know? So yeah, revising your money and your resources, budgeting, all that stuff is the second house. So Scorpios, it's all about that money hunty. Okay. Okay, HFTL says, Cafe Astrology gives me rising signs 30 minutes later early. Really now? I haven't used Cafe Astrology in a minute, I will admit, because now, not to be a big head or anything, but I'm more advanced in astrology to where I don't use that site. It's more, I think it's good for beginners because cafeastrology.com, it brings up your chart and it gives like a little short, like 2 sentences about what each placement means. So it's a good starting point. You know what I'm saying? Eve says she uses AstroTheme. Yeah. AstroTheme is on point, you guys. So go to AstroTheme if you don't know your rising sign. Scorpios are very nice, but of course, if you cross them, they will pull your head out of your body. Yes, we will. We sure will. So anyhow, moving along to Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. How's Mercury retrograde affecting you guys? And to my sis in the chat, you are a Sagittarius moon. So this affects you too, girl. I know. So Sagittarius, Mercury retrograde is in your sign. So pretty much anything in your world, you may have to go over several times. You guys will also have like a little more technical difficulties than other people, communication difficulties, stuff like that for Saggies. Yeah, Sag, you may start thinking about yourself, like the first impression that you give out to people. What is it? How do people see you? How do people know you? Do you like how people know you? Like what they know you as when they first meet you, the vibe they get from you? Do you like that? If not, what do you not really like about yourself that you kind of want to change? You know, you guys should be thinking about that. That can mean your appearance too. Like, you don't like your hair color anymore. You know, it's boring to you now. Like, this bores me. You know what I'm saying? Like Prince, the Gemini, this bores me. Would you like some grape? Yeah, so Saggies, you guys may get bored with your appearance and want to change things up. However, Saggies, listen, do not, I repeat, do not go and do anything like get a tattoo, get a piercing, get a surgery, get your hair, something done that's completely different than what you usually do with your appearance. Do not do it right now. Just don't. Okay. Because the end result could be once Mercury goes direct, you're going to look at yourself and be like, who is she? Like, who is she in the mirror? I don't recognize her. I don't like it. You know, who is he? Like, I don't like this haircut. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like this. Like, I need to do something. Now I need to change it back, you know? So there's a possibility of that, guys. So yes, Aggies, go over and revise and think about what can you do to make yourself and your life path better, but try to wait until the second week of January to actually initiate things, okay? And watch that communication. You guys would probably be the ones that like have a lot of typos when you text, and like you guys are very blunt. You may blurt out something that's like the wrong thing at the wrong time, and then be like, oh snap, I shouldn't have said that. Usually Sagittarius don't give a shit. You guys will just say whatever's on your mind. But when Mercury is retrograde in your sign, you may start thinking, maybe I should take that back. Maybe I should apologize. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's Mercury retrograde for Saggies. Saggies travel all the time. You can't keep them in one place. Hello. Speaking the truth there. That is so true. It's either they travel, like physically go like places a lot and travel around, or in the mind, Saggies tend to have that the grass is greener elsewhere. You know, they're like, oh, I wish I was here. I wish I was there. Or Saggies tend to do that with relationships a lot, which maybe we'll talk about in a whole other video, okay, about the signs and relationships and whatnot. But I had a Sag that wanted to date me one time, but I was like, dude, every time you're in a city, you're like, oh, I miss home. And then when you're home, you're like, oh, I miss being in this city. And then you go to that city and you're like, oh, I wish I was somewhere else. I'm like, you'll probably do that with me. Like, you'll be with me and you'll be like, oh, she's cool and all, but I miss my ex. And then you'll go to the ex, and then you'll be like, oh, well, now I miss my girl. Then you'll come back to me and be like, oh, you know what? Now I miss this other chick in this other country. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I saw that. I was like, nope, I'm sorry. We could be friends. Saggies are fun people, but I've already been with one of y'all, and it was the most crazy roller coaster ride of my life. But I still love Saggies. You guys are still one of my favorite signs. Moving along. Okay, moving along. Hold on. I know, I just feel some tea on that. Anyway, so next up is Cappy. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is Mercury retrograde affecting you? Yes. Oh, okay. Victoria is a Sagittarius moon, to answer your question. She's a Saggy moon. So anyway, for Capricorns, though, it's your turn, Cappy. Spotlight on you. Mercury retrograde for Cappy. Cappy rising, sun, moon, whatever. This is in your 12th house. This is a more quiet, low-key area of your chart, is the 12th house. So Capricorns, you guys may have some, like, a lot of memories come back to you from the past, you know, thinking about your life, reviewing your life, like, what have you achieved, what have you accomplished, what have you not, and how can you get there? Cappies tend to think about that stuff anyway a lot, but it's like increased during this time. And let me tell you guys, I have a lot of Cappies in my life too. And so you guys are another sign that I always like poke fun at, only because I love you, because I have family and friends that are Cappies, you know. So I'm around you guys all the time to see your little quirks and like kind of poke at you. But I noticed the Capricorns are the #1 sign to say, it's already like that. It's been like that. It's always like that. Like, because Capricorn is a sign of staying on a straight and narrow path and not really stepping outside of that path too much, you know. So that's where your minds are at a lot for Capricorns. Your minds are just on like march forward, left, right, left, get on up, forward, march. Like, that's Capricorn. So you guys don't go, your minds don't go this way or that way. Maybe it could be this, maybe it could be that. It's not in the Cappy's nature. So when I give a lot of my Capricorns horoscopes, or I say, yo, look, this month there's going to be a higher chance of blah, blah, blah happening. Capricorns say, that always happens. Clear eyes, dry eyes. And I'm like, dude, okay, look, there's a higher chance than usual of this happening during this time frame. All right. Then they're like, whatever, I guess. Like, dang it, Cappy. But anyway, there's an increased chance of Cappies reviewing their lives, going back over their lives, because the 12th house, that's the last house on your personal zodiac wheel. It's the last one. So because of that, that's the very last part of your yearly cycle. So you guys are going to be really thinking back on your lives, you know, like, of what you want to do. How do you want to move forward in life? It's not the best time to take action. It's more about thought, the thought process, the plans, the planning. You guys may have to revise your plans over and over again, though. You know, and I know that could be annoying because Caps are usually pretty confident people. So you'll have to revise your plans and stuff, you know, maybe scratch some things off, start a new list. But it's cool to do that during a Mercury retrograde. Just wait until after the, you know, the second week of January starts for you guys to really take that action, put those plans into action. And Cappies are people that really do put their plans into action for real. Like, you guys are not just all talk. Like, you guys make a plan, you say you're gonna do it, and you're the type to be like, don't talk about it, be about it. Like, that's totally Capricorn, you know. So it's time to make those plans, revise your life, what you're gonna do, you know, move forward with your life plans, your life path, whatever. Some Cappies could get a little emotional, and I know Cappies will be like, me, emotion? What are those? What are those, right, Capricorn? But you guys will be a little more emotional and sensitive, even though you'll deny that you are. You will be during this Mercury retrograde because it's in a very tender, sensitive part of your chart. Cappies, I know a lot of you guys don't really like believe in a lot of stuff, but pay attention to your dreams because you may receive messages through your dreams during this Mercury retrograde from people from your past. Maybe they're no longer here, they've passed on, they're in the spirit world. Yes, that does exist, Capricorn. So you may receive messages from them. So really pay attention to your dreams during this Mercury retro, okay? So next up is Aquarius. My Aquarian aliens, how does the Mercury retrograde affect you guys? Well, this affects your 11th house of friends and groups and actually Aquarian stuff, because Aquarius, you guys are the 11th sign on the zodiac wheel. And so when we talk 11th house, when we talk about the houses in astrology, the number of the house, you know what I'm saying? It's like 11 is Aquarius, you know? So 11th house is like Aquarius-esque things, all right? So pretty much anything Aquarian, you guys are going to be going back over. You may have a little more issues with. There could be more miscommunications with friends, and that really sucks for Aquarians because you guys are the sign of big groups of friends, you know, acquaintances, people that you, like your fellow aliens. I always call them your fellow aliens, like the people that are unique like you, and you guys get along really well because you have common interests and stuff. There could be mishaps, miscommunications with those people, you know? So yeah, and also the 11th house and Aquarius, they rule the internet. So you guys like, and websites and all that stuff, right? So if you're an Aquarius, be very careful of what you put out there on the internet, you know, because some things retro can come back, like bite you in the buttocks, okay? Excuse me. Also, if you're trying to put out a website or something, it's probably not the best time as well, Aquarius. You may want to wait until after the retrograde's over in January. What else? Aquarius, you guys can have friends come back from the past, which could be good or bad, depending upon who you blocked and who you know, X'd out of your life. Whether you like them or not, friends can come back from the past. In memory, you'll be thinking like, oh, I miss so-and-so. I haven't seen them in a long time. Or people will be contacting you like, Aquarius, you've been so busy. You know what I'm saying? With like your busy life and everything. And you forgot about me. So can we hang out? Can we go to lunch? And you'll be like, oh yeah, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Let's go kick it. So Aquariuses maybe get a lot of those phone calls or those messages or whatever from friends, old friends. It's a good time to reunite with old friends, Aquarius. So yeah, good luck with that. But technology and communication via like the internet and stuff could be a little crazy for you guys. So just watch it with that. Excuse me. Last but not least is Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, or rising sign. How does the Mercury retrograde affect you guys? It's in your 10th house of career. Yo, it just dawned on me. I'm a Pisces moon. And I've definitely been revising some career things. So Pisces, yeah, this is a real deal. Like, and public image, what your public image is, how you want the people to know you. You know what I'm saying? That's something that Pisces can really start revising and going over. Like, if you have a title with your job, like a position, like a career where you're like, well, my name is Pisces and I'm known as a blah, 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 blah. Like, what is that? And do you want to change it? You'll be thinking about that, revising things. And so this is a time for me to share with you guys. I'll share more with you later, but I'm a Pisces moon, as I said. And I've been thinking about that. I'll wait till after the retrograde to see if I'm really going to have something to really announce, to see if it sticks. But I'm thinking about my public image, my social media, my YouTube and all that, my business, changing the name to fit more with the direction that I'm trying to go with my social media, with my public image, my platform as a Pisces. I'm thinking about changing the name. I've been wanting to change the name for a long time. Like actually the one that I have now on here, Pisces Moon Goddess, like I kind of just stuck that on just to start getting videos out there and like start getting out there. You know what I mean? It does mean something to me, but at the same time, I'm like, I started my channel to do like comedy and skits and entertainment as a way to educate people on astrology. You know what I'm saying? And to be more like me, like very casual, very like I'm your homegirl, I'm your friend, but I have this knowledge to share with you. But it's in a very like casual conversation manner. I'm not like boring scientist, like a clear eyes, dry eyes. Like that's not my style. You know what I'm saying? I'm more casual. I'm like down here with you guys, but still my mind goes up there, So I'm thinking of changing my name as a Pisces, my 10th house, to something different to go more along with that. Because goddess is more like an elevated being. And I really don't feel like an elevated being. Like I'm one of you guys, So anyway, I just was sharing that with you Pisces, that if you have something similar, excuse me, that's something that you guys can be thinking about, like how people know you, how people see you, what title you have, should something change about it, so, and also your career. Do you want to change your career? Are you happy in the career that you're in or not? Or if you are happy in it, like what can you do to make it better? This is a time to restructure things, but wait until the second week of January to really initiate things and put them out there. So I'll keep my own advice in mind as a Pisces too, as a Pisces moon. So yeah, so that's the Mercury retrograde. I will get to the full moon. This is a long video, but hey, I promise you guys I will cover both things for your horoscope. Eve wants to know, do I use the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette? No, I haven't bought that, but I have the Lorac palette, Lorac Desert something, Desert Sunset or something like that. It's gorgeous. I have that. I have some of it on right now. You can't really tell with this like wonky lighting and stuff, but if I use my good camera, you'd be able to tell. Let's see what else. La 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 la. If your MC is in Pisces, does that apply? Eve, your midheaven is in Pisces. That means your career is Pisces. That means you're probably a Gemini rising, I would suspect. So if you're a Gemini rising, you look at Mercury retrograde in Sag, which for Gemini is your 7th house of relationships. So that's more of what it's affecting for you, like based on your rising sign or your sun sign, whatever. Yeah, if your midheaven's in Pisces, that means your rising sign. So it's probably Gemini. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Victoria, for the compliment. Yes. Okay. Wow, as a Pisces, I'm starting training tomorrow back in my old career in TV. Yes, TV. is also, it could be 10th house because that's being seen by the public. So good luck to you. That's dope. HFTL, why are you reading my mind? That's all I got to say. Why are you reading my mind? And don't take that and run with it and say it anywhere else is all I got to say. Okay? All right. All right. So moving along to, excuse me, the full moon horoscope. Let me get to those before my battery dies here too. That would not be very cool. That wouldn't be cute. Anyway, so the full moon in Gemini, that's today. It happened today, this morning. That was the exact point. This morning was the full moon in Gemini. It was at its peak. So it's for my fellow nerds who are into like the numbers and stats and all that and the degrees. The full moon was at 11 degrees of Gemini. So that means the moon was at 11 degrees Gemini. The sun was at 11 degrees of Sag. And Neptune is at 11 degrees of Pisces. And you know what, you guys, like 11, like I've never really paid attention to, you know how people will say 11, 11, make a wish and all that stuff. I've always been like, that's some cornball stuff. You know what I mean? Like people will turn it, but I mean, I know 11, 11, it does have a meaning. I never personally really looked into it until recently, but you know, a lot of people will just take stuff like that. It's kind of like, no disrespect to people who only know their sun sign. Okay, I know a lot of you guys just started subscribing. Maybe you're like barely learning and stuff. But there's a lot of people that like they take their sun sign and they make it into like this team that they're on. And like, you know what I'm saying? And they get all upset over it and stuff, not knowing and realizing that there's this whole other layer underneath of astrology that's like so deep and intense that you're more than just that one sign to be all like corny about, you know? So I feel the same way about 11/11, make a wish, and 11/11, this and that. I see it everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know if it really has a deep meaning. So the last 2 months, I've seen 11/11 a lot. I look at the time, 11/11. I'm like, dang, really? Like, I just happened to catch it, you know? And you know what's really cool? The last couple of months, the full moons have been at 11 degrees. And making an aspect to Neptune, which is at 11 degrees. Neptune opens portals to the spiritual world, the spirit world, the spirit realm. That means like people who have passed on. It opens realms to psychic ability, to intuitive abilities, to be able to tune into each other without even speaking verbally and read each other's minds and thoughts and like, whatever you send out there, like people will get those messages without you really like, you know, through typing or texting or emailing or talking. You can send messages to people when there's like a Neptune portal open, you know, when that energy is like really strong in the air. So I have something crazy to tell you guys. Then yes, I'll get to your full moon stuff. It does have to do with the full moon. So last month, the full moon was in Taurus, 11 degrees Taurus. The sun was at 11 degrees Scorpio, the Neptune 11 degrees Pisces. They all made this like aspect, right? So there's this like 11 vibe in the air along with the spiritual, like a portal open to the spirit world. Okay. So that's what happened last month. The month before that, I think the full moon was in Aries. I don't think there was really much going on with that. But anyway, so in October, I had like, there's a friend that I have who is very special to me. He's in the spirit world. But I feel like he visits me sometimes. And even as a spiritual person, I will sometimes doubt it because I have a lot of Taurus, earthy energy and earth sign energy. We will look at things with the side eye a lot. Like, really, I have to see that to, like, I have to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of times I know he's visiting me. I know he's sending me a message somehow. Like, it's just crazy. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's really him. I don't really know. And I go on with my day. Well, last month, October, at the end of October, I had a lot of dreams, 4 consecutive dreams in a row about this friend of mine. The last dream I had, I was in this like community home. That's how I can explain it, is it's a community home. It was like this place, it had rooms, there was a living room area. Everybody was chilling in there, all these like strange people chilling in there. And there's a window. And when I looked out the window, I could see the cemetery where my friend is buried at. And I haven't been there since he passed 9 years ago because I don't mess with cemeteries and funerals and all that. Like I'm a Scorpio, but that stuff, like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies, you know? So I haven't been there in a long time, but I dreamt that the cemetery was right there. And I'm like, oh, it's just right there. Let me go visit his grave. You know what I'm saying? So I went in the dream, then I walked over and I was visiting his grave. I saw it and everything. And then I woke up. Fast forward to a month later. All this 11 energy is in the air. Neptune 11 degrees Pisces, Jupiter 11 degrees Scorpio, you know, opening up the portal to like this this really psychic, intuitive, unspoken but you know type of energy, building up to this full moon, 11 degrees Gemini, Sag, Pisces, right? So I was on my way to see, my dad was in a hospice care facility. I hadn't visited him there yet because I don't like messing with hospice either, but it's my father. I had to go, right? So I was on my way there. I was a wreck, you know what I'm saying? And then I noticed that on the way to the hospice place is the cemetery where my friend is buried at. And like I said, I don't F with cemeteries, but I just felt in this weird trance, like, oh, let me stop here. Like I felt okay with it. So I stopped there. I'm looking around for my dude, right? Like, I don't remember. I think he's around this area, you know what I'm saying? Then I see, like, you know, there's this lady there kneeling down. And I'm like, la la. And I look over and I'm like, that lady looks familiar. And I'm like, whose grave is she at? I look, she's at my friend's grave. And it's his mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is weird. You know, like, it's not like a significant day, you know what I'm saying, in his life for somebody to visit. So I'm like, why is she here? And I'm like, I'm going to let her have her peace. So I was chilling, pretending I'm at some other grave of some stranger. And that even felt weird. Like, okay. Then finally I was like, you know what? There are no coinky dinks in my life. Okay. Like, let me go talk to this lady. So anyway, I went and talked to her. I said, hi. We had a brief conversation. She gave me a hug. And then I was chilling, you know, with my dude, like having a visit, right? After that, I go to the hospice to see my dad. I walk in and guess what I see? I see a living room area. And this is a community home. It's a community home. And I was like, oh, shit. This was in my dream. I had a dream. Remember, I was in a community home in a living room. And there's a window to look out. And it was right by the cemetery. I was like, yo, this is freaky. But it's real. It's so real. Like, the spirit world is real. Messages you receive are real. All the 1111 I've been seeing, so real, right? The last 2 months. Now I'm like, okay, 1111, I get it. It meant that people are around. Like, if you see that, it means people are around. And all this 11 degrees of the planets is intensifying that. You know what I'm saying? And then I won't get too into this because, like I said, it's still kind of fresh and new and I'm still a little emo. But the day that my father just left, you know, the physical world a few days ago, his Neptune, remember I said Neptune, the spirit world, right? The portal opens to the spirit world with Neptune. His Neptune is 11 degrees of Scorpio. The minute that Jupiter went into 11 degrees of Scorpio, that's when I got the call that, you know, he's left us. 11. I'm like, yo, man, my mind is blown. So with that being said, even though this full moon is making challenging aspects to 11 degrees of Pisces, right? We still have the energy of and then Gemini rules communication and speech. And so does Sag to a degree. And then Pisces, Neptune is the unspoken, but you just know. So there's a lot of that in the air. So pay attention to the messages you receive in your mind, okay? Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Pay attention to people that you speak to that are wise. You know what I'm saying? If they reach out to you with some knowledge, you know, kicking some knowledge to you, some messages, pay attention, you guys, because it could be like some real deal stuff. However, like I said earlier, Sag and Gemini and Pisces, they're not always the most truthful energies because they're mutable, they're changeable. You know, they could change like that. So because of that, sometimes they could bend the truth a little bit more than other signs, just being honest. And if you're offended by that, listen, hunty, You're not just one sign, okay? So if I'm a Sag and I don't lie, I'm a Gemini, I don't lie. Maybe you have other planets in other signs, other houses, other aspects. Go check them, all right? Or hit me up for a reading and I'll let you know why you're not a liar and you're a Gemini or a Sag or Pisces. Anyhow, those signs are known to bend the truth a little more. Sag can exaggerate. Gemini is just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then they disappear. Pisces will just lie and manipulate. That wasn't me. You didn't say. I'm Houdini. I got fog around me. First you saw me, now you don't. That wasn't me. I'm innocent. I'm an angel. Yeah, right, Pisces. I'm one of you guys. Okay, I know. All right. So anyway, yeah, the full moon is in those signs. So you still have to be mindful of the possibility of deception during this time, especially with the moon being in Gemini and Mercury rules Gemini. So the ruler of the full moon is retrograde and it's got aspect to Neptune. Listen, be very, very careful with anything to do with communication, with contracts and all that stuff right now. Don't let nobody scam you. Tis the season to get robbed. I'm just saying a lot of thievery happens around this time of year for a reason, you know? Yeah, because people are like acting like they're balling out of control, buying all kinds of gifts and presents and stuff. But at the same time too, because of this mutable energy in the air, some people like the people that are criminals, they're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who could I scam today? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, look at that meme on my Twitter or my Instagram. That's what I think of with the yeah, you know? So yeah, don't let nobody scam you guys. Pay full attention to the messages you receive, to who's communicating to you, to what they're saying and all of that. Okay, that's a really big message with the full moon. So anyhow, how's the full moon affecting each sign? Oh my gosh, I got 16% on my battery and I forgot my charger. So, and it's almost midnight my time. I'm surprised you guys are still hanging with me and rocking with me. And thanks for doing that if you're still here. So anyway, Eve says, I can't stand when people say stuff like that and try to dismiss astrology altogether and think you're crazy for believing in it. Yes, that's true, girl. And you know, Sag is the energy of beliefs. Belief systems, what you believe in and all that. So yeah, that's like in the air. It's a little more intense. And also we got, excuse me, Saturn and Sagittarius. Saturn rules opinions and beliefs. I mean, Sag rules opinions and beliefs and Saturn is like grumpy old man. So people are really grumpy old people about their beliefs and stuff and like strict and all that. It's crazy. We'll talk about Saturn and Sag and moving into Capricorn. Like maybe I'll do a live broadcast on that because that's happening this month too. But anyway, let's talk about this full moon, y'all, before I totally lose my voice. You know, Taurus rules the throat and the voice. And that's why, because I have like 5 planets in Taurus, that I will lose my voice if I talk too much. So the full moon, how's it affecting Aries? Let's start with Aries, people. Aries, sun, moon, or rising, the full moon in the sign of Gemini. It is affecting, like we discussed, your thoughts, your beliefs, okay? What you believe in. Have you been believing in things that are like false or deceptive? Has the wool been pulled over your eyes? The fog, have you been like floating in the fog, in the mist, Aries? You know, not really knowing what's going on in your world. But this is more like the 3rd house. The 3rd house is the big emphasis. That's where the moon is at. So it's around the way versus far away. What are you doing for your mind to be expanded, Aries? Okay, are you focusing more on like things that are way like out there, or you know, should you be focusing on things that are more like that you got to deal with on a day-to-day basis? Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can still hear me with my voice. But anyway, so Aries, yeah, you guys are a sign that really needs to be careful with driving, Aries, with the full moon in your 3rd house. I have seen people, full moon in the 3rd house, get into an accident. I'm just saying, I'm not, like I said, I'm not like the fatalistic woo astrologer, you know what I'm saying? But I have to keep it real. So be careful driving. Or some of you guys could have something come up to where you have to get a new car. But be careful because it's Mercury retrograde too. Okay. So new car, new way of traveling, new way of communicating, all of that stuff. some of those things could be highlighted for you, Aries, with this full moon. It could be whether to stick around, you know, your where you live now, which is like very, very close and comfortable for you, or should you like expand your horizons and like travel and go go far away somewhere, move far away. Because remember, this is a conflict between the 3rd and the 9th houses. With the full moon, it's the 2 signs, you know, and there's something that has a meet in the middle. So it could have to do with your education too, Aries, to where there's like a conflict and you got to make a final decision. That's for Aries with the full moon highlights. Now for Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, the full moon in Gemini is in your 2nd house. So it's an axis between the 2nd and the 8th, which is money, finances, resources. The money that you make, like through your job, through your own efforts, through your working and all that stuff, there could be some final decision that you make based on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'm a Taurus. My sun sign is Taurus. And right exactly this morning at the full moon, I get a phone call from family that's like, yo, what are we going to do with all of your dad's stuff? Like, we need to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And my dad has like a really dope, like old school truck, like a hot rod, like 1950s or 60s truck. It's like so dope. And it has like a booming stereo and all that stuff in it. And my dad drove it around all the time. So I'm like, I'm hoping we could keep that in the family. And then she told me, oh, well, somebody wants to buy it. So I'm like, I don't know if we want to sell that. So that's money, right? Money versus an inheritance, which is the 8th house, the 2nd and 8th. So I had to make a decision, like, am I going to sell this or am I going to keep it? And it's an asset. 2nd house is your assets, material things, you know? So an 8th house is like, yeah, what you get. Excuse me. Oh, yes, girl. Victoria, you're still here. Thank you, girl, for still being here. I thought you had to work in the morning, but thanks for still rocking with me. Yes. I know. I know. I want to keep it. But see, that's a decision that has to be made with the full moon. It's like a dilemma. Should I do this or should I do that on that axis? So other Tauruses, you guys may have to make similar decisions or just something based around money, you know? Something based around money. Eve said she had a fortune cookie that said she was going to inherit money, and she's like, okay. Crossing my fingers for you, girl. Get that money. Jupiter trine Neptune just passed, so the influence is intense. Thank you. She knows the lingo and the language. She knows what's going on. Okay. And right now there's 11 likes on this video. So thank you guys. That number 11 keeps coming up and I love it. All right. So Taurus is, yes, it's a decision revolving around money, but make sure that everything is clear because of Mercury retrograde, because of the foggy influence of Neptune with this full moon. So just be clear in your decisions around money. Taurus is one of the signs that rule money. We, you know, we are really tight with our money, precise. We comb through every penny and all that. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're not like me, a fellow Taurus, and losing track of your bank account. And then you got like, you know, stuff just leaving your account and you're like, what the hell? Okay, where's it going? Why? Now my battery is at 11%. I love the number 11, but this is making me talk a little faster to get through these horoscopes so it doesn't die. Okay, so next up is Gemini, sun, moon, or rising, the full moon. How is it affecting you guys with it being in your sign? Look, this is about you. It's all about you. It's about your relationships. I think I mentioned in my previous attempt at this broadcast that yeah, I've heard of a couple Geminis getting divorced, or you know, I had like my man's had to go chill with one of his friends because his friend is like breaking up with his woman, or they may get a divorce, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. But this is a decision between you, Gemini, and other people, which is your 7th house, your opposite sign, which is Sagittarius. So there's like some final decision that has to come to a breaking point. Okay, like what are you going to do? You're going to stay in this relationship or not? Are they bad for you? And if so, are you going to leave? Are you going to stay? You know, Dia says that her moon is in Gemini. She's glad she's single. Yes, it could also be a decision of whether or not to remain single or to get into a relationship. Should you still be single and free, Gemini? You know, I know Geminis love their freedom to bounce around, to talk to this person, talk to that person, date a blonde this day, date a brunette that day. You know, I got some over here, some over there, some in different area codes. I know Geminis are all about that life. Should you continue with that life, or should you, you know what I'm saying, like let somebody tie you down? You know, that could be a decision that you're trying to make as a Gemini too. It's not always like divorce and breakups and stuff, or it could be a full moon. You know, this is like, yeah, deciding to get into a relationship, or something that you decide to do with your body, your appearance, your life path. That's also like how your first house is affected, Gemini, by the full moon being in your sign. Remember the aspect from Neptune, though. It can make things a little unclear. So you're another sign that I would say to be careful. If you decide to do anything to change your appearance drastically, you may want to wait until like after Mercury retrograde, or like, you know, until like the new moon in Sag in 2 weeks. The full moon period could be a little crazy for that. Maybe not the best time. All right, so next up is Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is the full moon in Gemini affecting you guys? So this is your 12th house. This is a very, very sensitive area for Cancers, and Cancers are already very, very sensitive people. So Cancers, you guys may be, Cancers cry every full moon anyway, okay? I have a best friend who's a Cancer sun, and she texts me every single full moon, and she's like, oh my God, my life. She always says that. She's actually in, you guys go watch my videos about dating Cancer men, dating Virgo men. She's like my sidekick. Like, she's a Cancer. She's hilarious. You guys are so goofy. And she says that in both videos. Oh my God, my life. I'm a Cancer. You know, so yeah, she'll text me every full moon and be like, do you see the moon? Oh my God, no wonder I'm so emotional. You know, so Cancers are emotional every full moon. But this is kind of a little bit more of an emotional full moon for you guys. It's in the 12th house. The 12th house is a very sensitive area because it is like going back over your life for real, like your life, the cycle of life. Like, what have you done? What have you not done? You know, it's very sensitive. And you guys are another sign, Cancer. With this full moon, I would say pay attention to your dreams. You could be receiving messages from the spirit world, you know, receiving messages from people that are dear to you, from the angelic realm, from God, whatever it is that you believe in. That's like, you can hear them, but they can't be like seen, you know, but you know that they're there. You know, they're communicating with you in some kind of non-verbal way. You can receive a lot of those right now, Cancer. So it's not all bad, but still, you know, yeah, you guys can have like just something change with that. You guys can also have something change with like how you take care of yourself mentally. Do you take time out? Cancers tend to do a lot for people. They tend to give a lot of themselves. So you could be thinking like, wow, I really give a lot of myself, and none of these motherfuckers are like giving me the same back. I need to take some time out. Okay. I need some me time. So Cancers, you know, you guys need to have that me time during this full moon. Take a bath, go to the ocean or the lake, like, and just cry, and whatever it is that you want to do, eat, whatever. Do your Cancer stuff. So anyway, next up is Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's the full moon in Gemini affecting you guys? This is in your 11th house of friends. So there could be like a new beginning or an ending to do with a friendship, actually. You guys could decide, Leo, that like a friendship is no longer like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys don't really get along anymore with a friend. You don't belong in a group of people anymore. Maybe you're just like, oh my God, they're so beneath me. I'm just so like above what they're doing because I'm a Leo. So I'm just going to cut them off, go find some new friends. Some of you Leos could be doing that, or maybe you decide to join in with a group of people because you find like some people that resonate with you, and you're like, you know what, like I will join this group of people, this organization, this whatever. It could be also like wanting to launch a website, or yeah, that's all the 11th house stuff to do with friends, groups, the internet. Try not to get into any fights on the internet, Leo, because full moons are emotionally intense times. This is in your 11th house of the internet. So yeah, you guys try to chill on that stuff, right? Try not to take insults or like take things as an insult. Like, you're disrespecting the queen. Like, do you not see the crown? You know? No, they can't see it over the internet. They don't know who you are. Okay. But it's just people on the internet, Leo. So just chill. All right. The full moon will pass, and then you don't want to say and do things you'll regret that'll cause more drama than necessary, okay? So anyhow, yeah, Leo, it could be a decision with friends or groups pretty much. So next up is Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. The full moon in Gemini is in your 10th house of career. So some Virgos could be making decisions based on career and their public image. Like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. Like, I need to change careers. What I'm doing right now, it's like, I'm not feeling it anymore. You know, it's not true to me. Or I want this particular title, and like now I'm making a decision to go after it. You know, I ain't playing around anymore. It could be a decision to, yeah, change something that people publicly know you as. Like sometimes I see a full moon in the 10th house being someone getting divorced, like changing their status. I know I keep talking about divorce and breakups and stuff, but hey, this is real life, okay? But you could be changing your title. Like now I want to be known as divorce, and I want my maiden name back. Or it could be that you decide to get married, Virgo, and now you're changing like how people know you. Like your name is Virgo Johnson instead of Virgo James now, or whatever, right? So, and yeah, it's based on that, based on career decision to like, you can get a promotion, Virgo. You can get a promotion with the full moon in your 10th house. Okay. So some of you guys, congratulations in advance if that happens. You know, sometimes you see effects of the full moon a few days before it. Okay. Or a few days after, up to 2 weeks after. So congrats in advance. Victoria says her Virgo crush recently changed his stage name. Well, there you go. Stage names, all of that are included in the 10th house. So yes, Virgo. All right. So now, next is Libra, sun, moon, or rising. How's the full moon affecting you guys? It is in your 9th house. So the 9th house is travel, education, and experiences, okay? What has your spirit not experienced yet, Libra? I saw a video with Lil Mo. If I don't know if all my viewers may be from different places, but Lil Mo is a singer, phenomenal voice, but she is something else. She's quite a character. And she has, excuse me, she has that accent from like Baltimore. So she says, spirit, I can see their spirit. We're married. I love the accents, man. Anyway, Libra, what have you not experienced yet in life? Do you want to travel? Do you want to go somewhere different? Do you want to like get more in touch with like some cultural stuff? Do you want more adventure in your life in general? You know, like, do you want to say, hey, you know what? I want to start going hiking more. Like, I want to check out some new restaurants. Like, I want to travel to a different city. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that is what Libras could be thinking about with this full moon, or making decisions, making a decision of whether or not to travel. But like I said, Mercury retrograde, just watch it with that. But if you must, okay. Okay. I don't know what you guys talk about in the chat. But anyway, yeah, Libra. So life experience. Have you gone to college? You know, what are you not like fully educated on that you would like to be? You know what I'm saying? So learning new things, new life experiences, things that really make you feel like you're enjoying life to the absolute fullest, like you're really living, not just, oh, I'm existing here in my bubble. Yeah, I'm just here, you know? No, Libra, it's like I'm living. I have my hands in the air. I'm going, woo! You know, that's the 9th house. That's where this full moon is at for you guys. Victoria says she's a Libra. She wants to travel to go to South Korea. Yes, girl. I know them little Korean men's are on your mind. Okay. You know, you want to go over there, get some kimchi and all that. Wait, is kimchi Korean? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. You want to go over there. You want to experience the foreign, something foreign to you, you know, the foreign men's, the foreign experiences. You know, you need some experience in your life. Right, Libra? All right, so next up is Scorpio. Oh my God, I'm at 4% battery. Let me see if my husband is still up. Maybe I can text him and bring me my charger. Hold on. So Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. How is the full moon affecting you guys? Hold on. Can you please bring my laptop charger? Okay, sorry, Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio, this is in your 8th house, okay? So Scorpio, this is definitely a decision that you have to make based on, wow, I'm a Scorpio rising too. So inheritance is big for me right now. So I got to focus on inheritance as a Scorpio rising. I got, like I said, I got called today, right when the full moon happened. Bam, a call. What are we going to do about this, and that you've inherited? And I'm like, yo, can I have some time to brief? All right. I can't brief right now. Like, let me figure things out first. So it could be about that. It could be about money that you share with other people through some other kind of like resource or means or whatever. It could be about intimacy, like asking your partner, you know, like your opposite sign Taurus is going through with Mercury retrograde. You know what I'm saying? It's like asking your partner, like, what can we do to have our intimate life better? You know, what can you do to experience? The 8th house is a house of Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, we are the 8th sign on the zodiac wheel. So when we talk about 8th house, anything 8 in astrology, think Scorpio. So this is home territory for Scorpio. It's Scorpio stuff. Like, yeah, how can intimacy be better? How can, and see, for Scorpios, intimacy, what it means for us is not just getting down to the bang bang boogie. It means like somebody is really connected to you, like they really look in your eyes like deeply, and like, you know, they tell you things that let you know they're really feeling you for real. You know what I'm saying? So this full moon may bring things to your attention that's like, I want more of that. How can I get it? You know, I have a partner, but he's got the Gemini shifty eyes looking around all over the place. And I gotta be like, yo, look, I need more of this. Okay. Like for you to stare at me. You know what I'm saying? Like Scorpios, when we have a partner, like somebody that we really love and that we're into, then we don't mind the stare into the eyes, like the stare into our soul. Cause we're like, yes, possess my soul. And let me possess yours, you know? But if we don't know you, that's when we have our Lokes on, like Easy E back there. He has some Scorpio energy. I'm still promising you guys I will go over Easy's chart one day. I sure will. I love Easy E. Or he's over here. My bad. But yeah, like we'll have our Lokes on and be like, don't look in my eyes, okay? Because I don't know you like that. But if we do have somebody we're connected with like that, we want them to look into our eyes, you know? So how can we get more of that? Or it could be a decision to finally go to the next level with somebody and get that intimacy on, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be breaking off, you know, a full moon in the 8th house could be divorce. You know, it could be somebody getting divorced too, like separating your assets and your soul, like unmerging from another person. So it's either merging or unmerging, Scorpio. Like that's what we're doing, or we're dealing with money, we're dealing with loans, we're dealing with money that people owe us, money that we owe people, money that we've inherited. We may be going over our insurance. There's just a breaking point that we're coming to with any of those things. So it could be about money, or it could be about, you know what I'm saying, Scorpio. You know what I'm saying. So yeah. Can I go over Janae Aiko and Big Sean Sinistry? You know what? That's a good one. I have to do that. Okay, Snoop he wears Lokes too. I think Snoop has some planets in Scorpio. He's a Libra sun, but I know he has something in Scorpio too, like Mercury or some other stuff in Scorpio, or moon in Scorpio. So yeah, the Lokes, yeah. That's why Scorpios cover their eyes, because like you can't see me like that because I don't know you like that. Don't look in my eyes, you know. Anyhow, you guys, I'm sorry. Can you hold on one sec? Let me go get my laptop charger. I know this is freaking hella ghetto, but let me go grab it so we don't have any more Mercury retrograde interruptions. Then I'll get through Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. It will be done, y'all. Okay? All right. Hold on one sec. So, like, say what's up to Easy E or Prince. Oh, God. Big head. Big head. Well, you are not all. Okay. All right. Hold up.
Okay. Woo! All right. Oh, where's my mic? Let me get mic'd up again real quick. Sorry, guys.
Anyhow, yeah. So, okay, so I'm back now. So that was Scorpio. Okay. Hey, Eve, don't be hitting on my mans, okay? Easy's been my man since like 1990 something, all right? He's staring at you. He probably is through those lows. But see, that's also a reason why Scorpionic people wear lows. So we could stare at you, but you can't tell. And we're peeping you out. I called him Victoria, girl. You're in the family. You should know. You should already know. Big head, yes. He's big head. Okay. I never redid Amy and Nas. Oh, you're on my Instagram, Jenny Gump. Yeah, I will have to do that. I can have Prince. Hey, they're both mine, girl. I'm greedy, okay? I'm a Taurus. Tauruses are greedy, so they're both mine. I'm possessive too, so don't be trying to snatch my mins. Easy and Prince have been my guys since I was a little girl. Anyway, so next up is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. How is the full moon in Gemini affecting you guys? This is in your 7th house of relationships, Sag. So, yeah, it's about relationships for you guys. So, you guys can come to a final decision about a relationship too, whether to stay, whether to go, whether to be single, whether to be divorced, okay, whether to be married, engaged, all of that stuff. It's all about that for Sagittarians right now. I don't really have too many Sages too close to me anymore to think like, are they having relationship issues? I don't know. I'm not sure. But some of you guys, yeah, you could be making a decision about relationships. So yeah, there's really nothing else that I can say about that, Sag. It's just relationship decisions. Or if you're in one, it could be whatever the next level means to you in a relationship, you can be deciding to take it there. Or if you are in a relationship, like how can you make it better? You know, like, or maybe you guys may have an argument, but it brings up a really good point of something that you guys have to work on together, you know, to work on to make your relationship better. And, you know, you can continue on like being happy. Let me see. Sag, you're going through it. Yes, they are, Satara. You got that right because you guys have Saturn in your sign. You know what I'm saying? You got Mercury retrograde in your sign. You've got now a full moon in your 7th house. It's like, oh my God, what else do you want from me? You guys are going to go Tyrese. What do you want from me? You know, Sagittarius, I feel for you guys. I love Sag energy. You guys are normally so happy-go-lucky, just free living life, but your freedom has been stunted, hunty. Okay, I know it has been. So it's been tough, but don't worry. You know, once Mercury retrograde's over, once Saturn moves out of your sign, it's going to be like a little bit easier for you. Okay, yeah. So Sagittarius, it's about relationships for you. What you're going to do with them, you know? Yes, I know Tyrese is a Capricorn. So speaking of, let's move on to Capricorn. And people are calling him Cry Reese. I'm like rolling on the floor laughing at that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, leave him alone. My Pisces moon is always like, leave them alone. Don't make fun of them. That's so mean. But at the same time, you know, I'm like still laughing. Tyrese, I did his chart on a different live broadcast on a different channel. You guys know where to find me. I can't really say it, but you know where I am. And he is the Scorpio rising, and he's a Capricorn. And he's got his Capricorn planets in the 3rd house. So like he's Lyreese and Tyrese to me, okay? But hey. But yeah, he's got some issues going on right now. I really do feel for him, all jokes aside, you know. But I know that was crazy. What do you want from me? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Capricorn. Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. How is the full moon in Gemini affecting you guys? This is your 6th house of work, and Capricorns are all about that work. You better work, right? That's the Capricorn theme song. And you know, RuPaul made that song. RuPaul is a Scorpio sun, right? But she has other planets in Capricorn. That's why she's got those snatched cheekbones, because Capricorn rules the cheekbones. And that's why she made that song. You better work. Okay. So anyway, it's all about work for Capricorns with this 6th house full moon. So it could be you guys making a decision of whether or not you want to work somewhere anymore. You know, Cappies are normally about climbing the ladder within their career, and they don't just like to have just a job. Okay, like my husband's a Capricorn rising. He's got all this other uber Capricorn stuff happening in his chart. My gosh, my nose always itches when I do lives. I don't know why. But anyway, he's like uber Capricorn, you know? And he always tells me as a Capricorn rising person that it doesn't matter if I work at a gas station or fast food place, I'ma still try to be the best and climb the ladder. I'm like, oh, good for you, Mr. Grey Poupon, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's normally how Cappies are. They don't like to just sit in one spot like at a job. You guys like to move up, you know? So some of you guys could be making a decision with a job. Like, do you want to stay there because maybe there's no opportunity for you to climb the ladder? You know, it's just like sitting there redundantly doing the same thing every day. And you're like, that's not my jam. I don't want to do that, you know? Or it could be you guys find like a dope new job, like an awesome new job opportunity that you can, you know, climb the ladder or whatever that you want to do. And so you take this new job. That full moons can bring new jobs too sometimes. It's not always like, you know, ooh, scary stuff. You know what I'm saying? Full moons can be also Cappies like leaving a job, quitting a job, and believe it or not, getting fired from jobs. Capricorns can get fired too, okay? I know you guys are usually really good workers, but it can happen to the best of us. So it's all about your work, all about your jobs, and also your health. You guys could be making a decision about your health to change something for the better, hopefully. So that's what it's about for you Capricorns with this full moon. So Caps will step on their own grandmothers to get to the top of the corporate ladder. No comment. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay. You don't have to work. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Anyway, so next up is Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. How's the full moon in Gemini affecting you guys? Well, this is affecting your, gosh, dang it. I don't know why my nose, like, I don't know. Maybe it's the light or something. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, Aquarius, this is happening in your 5th house. So this is the house of romance and stuff. So yeah, Aquarians, you guys can make a decision. You guys can make a decision based on romance, like whether to break it off with somebody that you're casually dating, or whether to, like, you know, get things going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I think I'm gonna decide to have that boy toy, or like, you know, that side. No, never mind, not side piece. I don't promote side anything. Maybe I'm deciding to have, you know, this chick, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's cool and whatever. And I think we should hang out. I think I should give her a chance. We should go on a date. Maybe we can have fun, you know, making decisions like that for Aquarians. And also, all your houses are getting hit, Dia. Girl. Yes. But this is good for Aquarius, though. The 5th house is good stuff. It's usually fun, hobbies, dating, children. Some Aquarians can make decisions right now, like, do you want to have kids or not? I know I have a lot of friends who have Aquarius energy, and they have a mixture of Aquarius and Sag, and those are the 2 biggest freedom-loving signs. And that Aquarius-Sag combo means no kids, or they have kids when they're like 40 or something. I know a lot of Saggies that they delay having children, or they just don't really want, or I'm sorry, Aquarians, because they like their freedom. And also Aquarius is, you guys like question traditions, like societal norms. You guys question them a lot. Our society, at least I live in the US, and our society tells you that the American way is you got to like start dating somebody, you gotta, like, you know, get married, you gotta shack up, you gotta have like 2.5 kids, white picket fence and all that stuff. To Aquarius, you guys are like, why? You know, you guys are the aliens that kind of look down on us humans and like examine us and say, like, why do you guys do this? Let me examine, you know? And then you ask yourself, well, why should I do that if that doesn't resonate with me? So for that reason, Aquariuses are one of the #1 signs that will either decide to not have kids, or they will like delay having kids till way later, because they like to do their own thing. You know, they like to be free and just be a rebel, you know? Ooh, interesting. So yeah, for that reason, that's why I was mentioning it, is because the full moon is in your 5th house of children. So this could be a decision of having children. Not saying that Aquarians never have kids, like no Aquarians have kids. But it could be a decision of whether or not to have kids. Some of you guys could be giving birth. Some of you guys can be getting pregnant or getting somebody knocked up. Or it could be that you, make a decision based around dating. Like, should I date this person or not? Should I just go on this date? Also, hobbies, creative stuff. Creative stuff is also the 5th house. So Aquarians, you guys are normally very innovative people. You guys are like creative thinkers. So yeah, putting a creative project out there too is a full moon in the 5th house. So enjoy yourself. Haha. All right. So last but not least is Pisces, of course. Full moon in Gemini. Wow. This is your 4th house of home and family. That's interesting. So once again, Pisces, when I give these horoscopes for you, I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm right along with you. Full moon in the 4th house. I just had the full moon in the 4th house. Yeah, I had a major 4th house, event happen. That's very emotional. So yeah, things can happen a few days before the full moon. You guys may have already seen things manifest for you in these areas of life. So for Pisces, it could be a major family event. It could be moving. It could be deciding to move, buying a house. It could be like, somebody moving in your house, somebody moving out, all of that stuff is full moon in the 4th house. What makes you comfortable and feel secure? You know what I'm saying? That could also be something that Pisces is making decisions about. It could be wanting to reconnect with family, especially with Mercury retrograde at the same time. And Mercury retrograde is ruling the full moon. It could be a decision to rekindle a family relationship, maybe like forgiveness, forgiving somebody, or like getting back in touch with family, traveling to see family. A lot of people do that. I know a lot of people do that anyway in December. But for Pisces, it could be a really like meaningful, emotional thing. Satara says, yes, her husband and I are thinking about moving also. Yeah. So thinking about where you live. Is it comfortable? Is it secure? It could be based on that. Something revolving around your family, something revolving around your home is definitely going to change for Pisces people. And it could be something very emotional. And it could be like, childhood issues that come to a head, like come back to you and you're like, you got to deal with it. Maybe like you had like a crazy childhood and you have to try to forgive your parents for, maybe mistakes that they made when you were growing up. It could be something based around that. Or like maybe you got into a fight with your tia, your aunt, your cousin, like somebody. And now it's like, you know what? We need to like sort this out and make amends, something like emotional around family pretty much for Pisces. So that was it, guys. I think we're going on like 2 hours here, like 2 hours. You've been here 2 hours. So thank you guys for rocking with me this long, for real. I hope you enjoyed your horoscope. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to go to my website. It's indigomoon.astrology.com. It's below in the description box. Don't forget I have sales on little mini readings right now in December that are very super discounted, short readings, on your life purpose, on planetary placements that you're curious about. If you're very new to astrology, especially if you want my thorough interpretation of it, I will give you lots of details. Okay, so hit me up, go to my website for a reading. Let's see. Before I go, can I let you know if I have any retrograde planets in my chart? Yeah, actually I do, but they're all outer. Like all my outer planets are retro, from Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. They're all retrograde and they all make aspects directly to my moon. So that's why I'm a little, I'm a little out there. I blame all those aspects of retrograde planets to my moon. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Oh, thank you, Eve. Yes. Eve's one of my clients. So, oh, okay. Get at me, Victoria girl. When we have girl time, I can go over all this stuff because there's a lot. So thank you guys so much. And again, thank you if you're a new subscriber to my channel. Thank you so much again. for coming through and checking out my live broadcast after I've been on a hiatus for a while. I will have more stuff coming, I promise. If you're here because she's Lulu mentioned me, like, oh my gosh, I'm still in disbelief. I love Lulu. She's so dope. And thank you for coming here for her, from her recommending me or whatever. So, and I have the astrology tag coming, and I have a reading of her chart coming too soon. All right. So take care, you guys. Enjoy the full moon. Hopefully it's not too much madness for you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next broadcast. All right. Take care. Peace. Good night. All right. How do I close this down? I'm still here. We're going to get this right, though, even though it's Mercury retro. All right. Peace out, guys.